that they added in 2010 for Excel is something called a Sparkline. In the past, you've probably created charts and done line graphs or column graphs of your data. But how about a small graph in one cell that represents the data right there on the spreadsheet? I'm looking at this first quarter production spreadsheet that we've been working with in several of our modules, and I would like to see how our data is working as far as the sales through January, February, March. So I'm going to put a Sparkline in cell F3. So I've selected cell F3, and all of our charting features are in the Insert tab. So I'm going to come up to my ribbons, and I'm going to click on Insert, and I'll come down and notice you've got the charts, and then after the charts you have Sparklines. I can do Sparklines as lines, so it'll be like a line graph. Columns, which will give me like that 2D column graph. I can even do a win-loss, where if the number's positive, then it's above the line. If it's negative, it's below the line. Now here we have all positive numbers, so we're going to deal with the line one right now. So I click on line, and it says, okay, what's your data range? Where are we looking for this? And I want to compare my sales in January, February, March. So I'm going to just click my little arrow to let me come out and highlight. I'll click and drag over B3, C3, and D3. Check that's the range I want. I click my red arrow to go back to the dialog box. And the other thing is, it says, where do you want to put that Sparkline? Now, it's defaulted to F3 because that's where my active cell was when I clicked on the Sparklines in the Insert ribbon. That's where I want it. I click OK, and boom, there is my Sparkline. Now here's a neat thing. Let's see if that little autofill handle will work for me here. Autofill down. Hey, here's my Sparklines for expenses and my Sparklines for totals. So it does work for me along those lines. And notice when my Sparklines are highlighted, I have a Sparkline Tools tab in my ribbon with a design option. I can change the color of my Sparkline. Maybe I want it to be, orange. Or maybe I want it, some other color, purple. I'm a Clemson fan. Orange and purple's got to come out somewhere here. I can do marker colors. So if I want negative points shown, I can put high points and give colors to the high points and the low points. So let's see, high points, let's do green. And you'll see, and I'm going to zoom in on my spreadsheet so you can see this. Do you see these little boxes that popped up? Those are my high points. And I can click on the drop down. Let's do low points. We'll make them red. I'll do this red over here. So it's putting these points on the Sparkline for me. The other things I can do is I could say, hey, you know what? I'd rather have a column. Let's click on the column. And now I've got a little column graph showing me the differences between the information on those particular areas. If I go to edit data, I can come back here and edit the group and location data, so I can change the data source if I wanted to. And it's saying, okay, is this still the cell range you want to do? It is the cell range I want, but let's say maybe I didn't want January in there. I just wanted February and March in there. Then I can change my cell range right here. And pretty much that's it. There is the win-loss option, which if I point to it, it changes it to a positive and negative option. If I choose that, everything's at the top of the cell because all my numbers are positive right now. But let's do this. Let me put in more expenses in March than I had sales for. So we get a negative number down there in cell D5. So let's see, let's say it was 60,000. Now I have a negative number in cell D5. And look at my Sparkline here. I have two boxes above the line and one that's red. Now here's a quick question for you, see if you can figure it out. Some of my boxes are green. Some of them are purple. Some of them are red. Why are they green? Do you remember? I'll give you a hint. I'm going to highlight this and go back to the Sparkline line option. And you remember when I chose my Sparkline colors for my markers? I said to make the high point green and the low point red. And I told it to make the line purple. So when I changed to column, I still have those same markers. When I changed to win-lose, I still have those same markers. Pretty cool. So this is, again, a new tool that Excel has available for us called Sparklines, and it's in your insert ribbon.